Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
We start with breaking news tonight out of Roseau, Minnesota, where we're told a Polaris employee was severely injured yesterday and had to be airlifted to Grand Forks. The victim is a man out of Greenbush, Minnesota, and other Polaris employees tell us the man's injuries came from equipment falling off a shelf and onto the man's head. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley talked with a former Polaris employee turned whistleblower who says it was only a matter of time until something like this happened. Bailey?
Mike, I talked with a man today who wanted to stay anonymous, but says one of the main reasons he quit working at Polaris is because he says employee safety concerns were always blown off by management.
They preach that safety is number one. There's signs all over the plant. But in reality, number one is productivity, profit, and number 2 or 3 is safety.
What was your reaction when you found out that this happened yesterday?
I was surprised and I was horrified, but I was also kind of, in my own weird way, I was ready for it because I knew one day there was going to be somebody that something was going to happen.
I also did some digging and found that in the last 10 years, there's been 18 safety and health OSHA violations at Polaris, costing the company tens of thousands of dollars. And the man I spoke with told me that there's a lot of incidents that don't get reported at Polaris because employees fear they may get fired. Mike?
All right, thanks, Bailey. A statement from Polaris's corporate offices says they're taking the incident very seriously. They also say the injured man has been released from the hospital. If you know anything about this story, you can contact us through our whistleblower hotline. Call 701-237-6576 and leave your tip. Still trying to shake the rain and the clouds. Let's find out from Hutch if that's going to happen tonight.
Well, as we're looking off to the west on that Skycam shot, you can see the edge of the cloud deck not too far to the west of us. In what was a very soupy start to the day, fog and showers of rain continued for at least a few hours and slowly began to lift as the day progressed. The clouds and showers continue for portions of western Minnesota. From the north, Roseau County down through the Fosston area, seeing some passing showers of rain. And this extends down to the I-94 corridor, where right now St. Cloud is getting a healthy shower. Travelers to the Twin Cities will go through that. We'll stay dry here in Fargo and Grand Forks this evening. Temperatures slipping slowly into the 40s. I think this bank of clouds that's been over us for the better part of 2 days will give us a little break. We'll see some sunshine, although briefly. I'll have details on some weekend showers in the forecast here in just a couple of minutes.
Be nice to see those clouds hit the road for a while.
I agree.
All right, thanks. We now know the name of the Fargo police officer who fired shots at a man in downtown Fargo earlier this week. The shooting happened Wednesday as police were investigating a possible bike theft. Officer Corey Lockow made contact with Richard Torres of Moorhead, who fled on foot and pointed a gun at Lockow. The officer says that he feared for his life and fired his weapon several times at Torres. Lockow has been with the Fargo Police Department for 2 years. He remains on paid administrative leave while an internal investigation is conducted. That investigation is being handled by the North Dakota Bureau of Criminal Investigation. Meanwhile, the 32-year-old Torres has been formally charged with terrorizing with a dangerous weapon and carrying a concealed weapon. West Fargo firefighters are warning you about space heaters or dehumidifiers that could start on fire. West Fargo's fire chief says they've already responded to several fires involving dehumidifiers that have either led to smoke or fire damage. Most of the appliances that go up in flames are on a recall list, so you're urged to check the full list of appliance recalls. That's on the United States Consumer Product Safety Commission. You can find a link about recalls for your appliances at our website, valleynewslive.com. A network issue is to blame for a massive phone outage this morning that hit much of North Dakota and Minnesota. This outage affected many incoming and outgoing calls in the FM area, including non-emergency lines like the Fargo Police Department. Consolidated Communications reestablished connectivity and restored services to everyone affected. A spokesperson for the Heidi Heitkamp campaign has confirmed to Valley News Live that former Vice President Joe Biden will be making a stop in Fargo to campaign for the U.S. Senator. Biden will be at the Fargo Air Museum at 11 a.m. Thursday, November 1st. We've been getting a lot of positive feedback on our political ad breaks like the one you just saw. It's about this time every election season that people have had their fill of ads telling you who you should or should not vote for. Valley News Team's Rose Itzkovitz joins us with more on this story. Rose?
Yeah, Mike, we've been getting a lot of Facebook messages, emails, and even voicemails thanking us for the political ad breaks. Here's one from Merle in Fergus Falls. Take a listen.
It was really a heartwarming thought to think of putting in a political ad break. Thank you.
So here's what people are saying about these ads, as well as whether people think they're actually working. Take a look.
Without them, I could care less, but that's just my opinion.
I can't wait for it to be over.
The numbers are in. Folks I spoke with say they want the political ads out.
Every other commercial seems like an ad.
But it's not just the amount of ads, it's also the content.
I feel like they should be maybe a little more informative and stick to the topics and not necessarily, I know it's just part of politics, but bashing the other person.
I hear more about what the other candidates are not doing or doing that's bad versus what the candidate who's putting the ad is actually doing as far as making things good.
So why does it seem to be just one attack after another? NDSU advertising professor Elizabeth Crawford says to get to the real issues is too time-consuming for a 30-second ad.
Sometimes this is a shortcut because if people really sit there and try to understand policy, that takes time.
And repetition is key.
If you were to, let's say, compare politics to Coca-Cola, I mean, politics is a much more complicated message than drink sugary fizzy water, right? So that needs more repetition there.
And my kids can say them word for word.
Christmas music keeps coming earlier, so do the ads.
I also see fear appeals, like these people are not really going to represent us, bad things are going to happen.
So does it work?
No, not really. Well, it's kind of hard to say who did what and what's true and what's not true.
Are you learning anything from them? Is it swaying your decision at all?
I wouldn't say so. I don't know exactly if it's the truth or not the truth.
And I will say we've received a lot of positive feedback on the breaks, but none that I've seen for playing the political ads themselves so far. Mike?
All right, thanks, Rose. And for more on research numbers that show how ads have divided the political parties throughout the years, head to our website and click on this story. Big night for the U.S. Senate race in North Dakota. Incumbent Democrat Heidi Heitkamp and Republican challenger Kevin Cramer will debate here in Fargo. You can watch it live on KX4. It's going to start at 7 o'clock and continue for an hour. And this program note, we're going to be replaying the show MacGyver, which normally runs in that time slot. You can catch it at 2:30 a.m. on KX4. People in Cass County can vote early starting Monday. There are 3 places in Fargo and West Fargo from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday next week. You can cast your ballot at the Ramada Inn on 13th Avenue South, the Fargo Dome in North Fargo, or the DoubleTree by Hilton in West Fargo. And on Wednesday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., early voters can go to the Days Inn in Castleton. The general election is Tuesday, November 6th. Polls on that day are open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. You can double check on your polling place through a link on our website. Go to valleynewslive.com and click on this story. Later on Valley News Live at 6, there's a chance for you to help out in the battle against opioid abuse. I'll explain. Up next, Minnesota wants to step up efforts to keep people from driving distracted.
You're watching Valley News Live on TV, online, and on the go. Always on, wherever you are, whenever you need to know. Valley News Live. You're watching Valley News Live on KVLY, your hometown NBC station.
Our dad is Kevin Cramer. Dad has a deep love of North Dakota and country. And his grandkids. He set a great example when we were growing up. Yep, we learned a lot from Dad. To thank God for our blessings.
And to make family a priority.
To listen to each other, work hard, and help others.
And that didn't change when Dad went to Washington.
And that's why he'll make a great senator.
I'm Kevin Kramer, candidate for Senate, and I approve this message.
No. Celebrate Floor to Ceiling Carpet One's Customer Appreciation Day at their fall open house, Saturday, October 27th from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. To celebrate, Floor to Ceiling Carpet One is offering you a $250 gift certificate toward your next purchase just for stopping in. There'll be an 11 a.m. seminar on flooring trends and a 1 p.m. seminar on countertop trends. Go to their Facebook page to register. The Fall Open House Customer Appreciation Day, Saturday, October 27th from 10 until 3 at Floor to Ceiling Carpet One in Fargo.
Toyota sets a higher standard with the Camry because so much comes standard. Important safety features like lane departure alert and pre-collision system on every single Camry are, you guessed it, standard. But the head-turning styling of the Toyota Camry is anything but. Tested, trusted Toyota. Get $1,000 customer cash on a new 2018 Camry or get 0.9% APR on a new 2018 Camry. Find your Toyota at buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Your individual gun rights are at risk at the Supreme Court. President Trump picked Brett Kavanaugh to defend your rights and break the tie at the Supreme Court. But Heidi Heitkamp said no. That's why the National Rifle Association endorses only Kevin Kramer. Kevin Kramer is the only candidate for Senate with an A rating from the NRA. Heidi Heitkamp just doesn't vote like North Dakota. NRSC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
On TV, online, and on the go, the Valley News Live Storm Team.
Distracted driving needlessly kills far too many people on roadways each year. That's why Minnesota's Attorney General Lori Swanson wants lawmakers to get tougher on first-time and repeat offenders in the state. Swanson unveiled a shocking new report on distracted driving in Minnesota in hopes that it will lead to stronger laws. That report cites findings from an AT&T study of distracted drivers. 27% acknowledged having driven while checking Facebook. 17% said they take photos while driving, while 10% said they drive and video chat at the same time. Swanson says it's time to get tougher. She would start by banning all use of cell phones while driving, allowing only hand-free devices. That is something 16 other states already require.
You know, it was discouraging to have this tragedy happen in our lives and to find out there was nothing, no law.
Fines for a first offense would triple from the present $50 fine to $175, plus court costs, and driving licenses could be revoked for repeat offenders. There was a stinky mess in Fillmore County, Minnesota last night after a tanker rolled on Highway 52. That tanker carried liquefied cattle manure to be used as farm field fertilizer. A leak forced first responders to shut down part of the highway for some time. 2 people were in the tanker cab. No injuries were reported. Later on Valley News Live at 6, it's a chance to clean out your medicine cabinet where you can drop off unwanted and unused prescription drugs.
And a live look from our Dakota Magic Casino cam showing a stunning end to the daylight. Looks like we'll see some sunshine as we begin our weekend, but it won't last long. Details in your hour-by-hour forecast are next.